friends, and welcome to M1 Yarns. I'm the yarn dyer behind m1yarns.com. If you're not familiar with me, my name is Jamie, and if this is your first time here, welcome. This is a knitting, yarn, spinning, fiber related podcast where I talk about projects, yarn that I'm dyeing, fiber that I'm spinning, all sorts of crafty stuff. And occasionally I get the privilege and honor to interview fellow makers, particularly fellow makers in Michigan. So if you're interested, you can go back and look in my previous, I think I have a playlist of interviews or that sort of thing. And as winter approaches and my show season as a yarn dyer for fiber festivals winds down, I'm starting to think ahead towards maybe doing some fun interviews in the future. If you have a maker that you would like to see me interview on this podcast, absolutely, please drop a comment below. I would really love it. Speaking of comments and doodads below, you can find all the links to where I am: Facebook, Instagram, my website, my Patreon. If you want to support this channel for as little as $1 a month, I would be ever so grateful. But you can find links to all that below. So without further ado, we have a lot of fun stuff to get into in this episode. And at the very end, I will announce the winner of our recent Knitalong, which was the Summer Knits 24 Knitalong. And I have a lovely prize for that person. So we'll get to that towards the end. And because that Knitalong just ended within the last week or two, we need to pick a new Knitalong. And I'm thinking maybe have something start like around November, maybe early December, even something as late as the beginning of the year. Maybe something that lasts the whole year. I'm really open to suggestions. I have yet to really think of an idea that sparked true joy for me. So again, this is like all about community. So feel free to comment below. Maybe we should do like a drawing for the best idea for a Knitalong. That's a fun idea. So yeah. Let's see, what is new? I just got home from the Northern Michigan Fiber Festival, which is held the last weekend of September every year in Alpine, Michigan, which if you're looking at, like, you know, well, maybe you don't know. If you're from Michigan, you know how everybody busts out their hand to show you where on the mitten of Michigan, or unless they're in the Upper Peninsula, where in Michigan they're from, because the state of Michigan looks like a mitten. And so if Detroit is like here, and Traverse City is, no, Traverse City's on this side. It's weird because I'm looking at the screen instead of my hand. So yeah, Detroit's here, Traverse City's kind of here, Mackinac Island is up here. Alpine is right about here, north of the thumb of Michigan, and it is right on Lake. Geography was not my strong suit in school. It's on Thunder Bay, which is on one of the Great Lakes. It's either Superior or Huron, and I was so sure it was Huron until I was thinking about a conversation I had with someone, and then I got frazzled. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Sorry, Michiganders. I'm not from Michigan originally. I'm from Colorado. That's a whole other story, and you're not here for it, I am sure. It's been a day, and my brain is a little frazzled, so if you're here for the cray-cray, just stay. And I hope you have your knitting, or your spinning, or your crochet, or whatever crafty pursuit you have, and I hope you have your water. Today, I'm drinking water. Oh, sorry, that didn't go down right. Woo! I am currently on a kick to drink my water and get my 10,000 steps a day. Not particularly like anything big in mind, just doing like the little things I can every day to be healthier and happier and feel good and all that good stuff. I figured, why wait till the new year? And summer body and all that hot girl summer, that ship has sailed. I want to feel good in the fall. I think that should be a slogan. A feel good fall. Anyway, so I have my water in my trusty Stanley. Love a Stanley. And if you don't have your water, go drink your water. So all that to say, I just got home the other day from that fiber festival in northern Michigan. It's a beautiful area. And if you and your knitting friends are looking for a fun fiber festival to go to next year, like I said, it's the last weekend of September. It's in Alpine. It is a great festival. There are lots of vendors. It's at a indoor like tennis and pickleball complex with really good natural and artificial lighting. There's big windows. It's air conditioned. It's indoors, so you're not trekking from like barn to barn or any of that kind of thing. It's really well organized, which from a vendor's perspective is like chef's kiss. And so because of that festival, I had some new product that I prepared for the festival, which I'll get to in a minute. But I also was ever so briefly a customer. So I want to share with you some really fantastic yarn that I just got. So my good friend Emily, hey Emily, who is Goldenbee Farm, I will include her contact, doodads below. She is a shepherdess, a honey, what do you call it? A beekeeper? That seems like the right word. She has llamas and ducks and chickens and sheep. Beautiful sheep. She has a really beautiful booth. And if you're going to be at the Ann Arbor Fiber Festival, which is in a week from when I'm releasing this video, she will be there. I bought, sorry for all the noise, unpacking my bag. I bought 4 skeins of this beautiful, just look at this yarn. So I do love the concept of like farm yarn, like very rustic, non-superwash, from the shepherdess kind of thing. I love it. But I'm going to be honest, a lot of it I find really itchy. I have very sensitive skin. I'm sure a lot of it has to do with my fair complexion. Redheads are sensitive to like everything. But this is Finn Sheep DK, and I'm trying to remember what she'd said about this. But anyway, it is absolutely soft and delightful feeling and gorgeous, and this like heathery gray that's almost like, I don't know, I feel like it almost has some brown undertones, if that makes any sense. I've been wanting to get her yarn for quite some time. So I had a little treat me moment at the festival, and I got 4 skeins, and I am planning to, what am I planning to do? I want to tell you what I'm planning to do with it. Oh, by the way, she also sells phenomenal beeswax lip balm. Let's see if I can get that to focus. Which I'm a big fan of beeswax lip balm. So my plan for this yarn is that I'm going to hold this with a strand of my Yak Dream lace weight, which currently I only carry in this natural light gray, but I thought it would be really pretty to dye this in like a really light brown, almost like a just a really soft, like mushroom brown, and hold the two together so you get like a little halo. And I'll throw a picture on the screen of what I want to knit. But it's the, and I'm totally going to butcher how you pronounce this. So if you know, please tell me. It's called the Eun sweater, E-U-N, by Anne Fiskum Sund. And I'm sure I'm butchering that, and I'm really sorry. Who is NovemberKnits. That's her like design brand. I've had this sweater in my queue since I don't know when. Quite a while. And I was rooming with Emily at the Fiber Festival we were just at last weekend. And we were sitting at the kitchen table together, and I was like, I really need to get some of your yarn. Let's pick a project that'll work for it. And this sweater was designed with DK held with lace to make a worsted gauge. And immediately it was like, that's it. That is exactly this classic sweater with the split side. I'll throw the picture back on. A folded neckband. I just love the little raglan detail. I just love. I feel like I will truly live in this sweater. So let's fast forward and see if that is true. But I'm really excited to knit this. I really want a fast, mindless knit, and this worsted weight combination will be such a joy. So that is like an acquisition and a future cast on all together. Let's see. So I have been knitting a lot because I needed to finish a couple samples for my booth for that show and the Ann Arbor Fiber Expo, which is coming up in a week. And I think a lot of the knitting has been like re-inflaming my trigger thumb, which if you've been watching for a while has been a problem for now going on a year. And initially I had trigger finger in my middle finger and my thumb. I got cortisone shots twice. It seems to mostly have addressed the trigger thumb. That doesn't really bother me unless I like push right there. But my thumb is so painful. Like I wake up with like a numb hand, and then by the end of the evening, it's just like, so I've been reading. I feel like I need surgery, but I've been reading about physical therapy for that. And one thing I just read last night is to get a tennis ball, which I keep a bag of these for my pups. They love to play with tennis balls. Actually, they love to chew them. The more raggedy, the better. But I read that if you put the tennis ball on a table and then put your like whole body weight above your hand, like from your shoulder over the ball, and then roll it around, it like stretches and massages the trigger finger. So this I'm going to try for the next couple weeks, and hopefully it helps. So if you've had trigger finger and something worked for you, let me know. I've talked to others who have had the surgery, and I'm not opposed to the surgery, but like I would really prefer not to because I am right-handed. It would greatly impact my everyday life, my ability to dye yarn and type on a computer and do all the things. And oops, I just threw the ball at my dogs on accident. Can you leave that? Can I have it? Can I have it? Come here. No, leave it. Oh, they let me have it. How nice. Can you sit down? Sit down. Good boy. I should like rub this while I'm podcasting. Then I'll get extra massaging. It's really a weird sensation, but the best thing I read about it was that the reason why so many of us get trigger finger is because we're like using this side of our hand so much and not strengthening and stretching this side. And so it's like your hand is just constantly like closed. Very interesting. Anyway, all that to say, what I have been knitting on a lot lately is my third Rhinebeck sweater. I finished one, which was the Alpine Bloom. That's done. I mostly finished the Cowgirl crop, which I'm going to be honest, is being finished for me on a knitting machine by my fairy godmother, Gwen, who is like the diva of knitting machines. She's amazing. She and I were talking about something to do with the sweater. Maybe we were at knitting together. We have like a little group in the Metro Detroit area, and we get together and knit at a coffee shop once a month. And she was like, let me just put it on the knitting machine. All you have left is the stockinette, you know, body and sleeves. Did I have the sleeve? No, I didn't have the sleeves done. And she was like, I got you. So I gave it to her. I figured she can zip, 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 zip. No, Jack. Thank you. That's my tennis ball. Can you sit down? Jack's the dog, in case you're curious. The other dog is Daisy. I should put some cute photos in here of them. Anyway, so she's finishing that Rhinebeck sweater for me. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Rhinebeck is a town in upstate New York where every October they have the New York Sheep and Wool Festival, where I go with my girlfriends and we get into all the trouble. And because there's 3 days of events, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I need 3 sweaters for it, as one obsessively, compulsively does. So, if the camera is vibrating, it's because my dog is licking her feet, like, right at the base of the tripod. I just noticed it. Anyway, so my third Rhinebeck sweater, I've talked about it on previous episodes. I've talked about it on my Instagram. It is coming together. It is the Varma cardigan. I'll throw a picture here so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. It is long. It is color work. It is bulky. It is, you knit the sleeves, which they're done. They've been done since like this spring. I think I started the sleeves, like maybe even March. Yeah. So I've knit the sleeves. Then a few weeks ago, I started on the body, and this is bottom up, and this is like kind of below the knee section. It's steeked, and that's why you see that column that's running up the middle that's dark. That's where it's going to be cut open. I'm on the last round, of color work of the bottom half. And then you knit like this much, one color stockinette with waist shaping, and then you knit a color work yoke. Here's the photo again for you. And I just dropped my point protector. These little sheep I sell on my website in case you're curious. And I need to finish this sweater. Today is Thursday, October 2nd. I need to finish it within the next 2 weeks. And that is some hard crank it out knitting. So that's why I'm trying to take care of my hand. I'm taking my ibuprofen. I'm rolling the tennis ball. Because I have a lot to get done. I want to finish in time. I really do. So, yeah, we will see. If y'all want to place bets on whether or not I'm going to finish this in time. Yeah, this was one of my Rhinebeck sweaters last year. I didn't talk about what I'm wearing. I'll insert a photo of me posing in it because I think it captures it really well. This is not the Spark. Gosh darn it, what is it called? You know, it's like I'm all prepared for this when I sit down to record. I'm looking on my on my Ravelry real quick. And then my brain just totally goes blank. This is the Spark. I should have trusted my gut. This is the Spark by Andrea Mowry. There's also a men's version, which I totally think, you know, they're like, you knit and you wear whatever. I don't even know what the other one, Spice or something. She knit it for her husband, and it is really cute. I do like this pattern. I would knit this again, maybe in a one color, because the color work all over got to be a little bit much. I like steeking cardigans, so that's not a problem. It's the color work. I would like some activity and basically some cruising, if that makes sense. Gosh, darn it. It's going to be hard to find this on her website. I'm trying to find oh yeah, the Spice. Let me see if I can show you it real quick. Now all you see is my ring light. Oh, jeez. There we go. How's that? We're just going to do it quick and dirty on here. Yeah, so this was one of my Rhinebeck sweaters last year. Love it. I wear the heck out of this. And I should have made it a size up, truly to fit kind of the way I wanted it. The shawl collar was annoying, and I don't know that I would do that again. I might do like, if I knit 2 sizes up, I could maybe get away with like a ribbed. I might have to do like a little down the rabbit hole thing on Ravelry to see if anyone has done that, because that would actually be like really an ideal cardigan, if I do say so myself. Okay, note to self to do that later. I wanted to talk about my spinning, because when I go to Rhinebeck in a couple of weeks, I do plan on buying some more fiber. Maybe a fleece, but I'm not sure. I really want to take the time and energy to process a fleece. Although, if you watch Flannel and Pearl's podcast, talk about an excellent knitting podcast. And their Instagram account by that podcaster is entertaining AF. Just putting that out there. I met him at the Michigan Fiber Festival, and he bought like 12 fleeces, and then he went to the Wisconsin Sheep and Wool Festival. I'm not calling him out here, so if you're watching, please forgive me. I mean, no judgment whatsoever. But he's been doing these videos of like showing the process of washing the fleece, buckets and buckets and buckets, and walking you through the whole process. And I find that super fascinating. And I also find that as recognition that maybe I'm not in a place in my life right now where I have the bandwidth for that. So if I do buy a fleece, it'll be just one, but I'm not opposed to buying roving. So I bought some, where did I buy that? No, I bought that at the Michigan Fiber Festival last year. So I've owned this big one up there for quite some time. I have a lot of fiber that I bought at Rhinebeck last year that's hanging here that I have yet to even touch. That is a whole thing. And I want to get back to that project in a second, but let me talk about this. So my friend Mary, who taught me to spin, she had recommended Zuka bags, which if you're not familiar, these are typically made for like ice skaters. They have like a hard top where you can sit and tie your skates on. They make versions for other sports, but isn't this bag cute? It has the llamas on it. She actually sold this to me because she got a new wheel, a Daedalus that comes with a carrying case, and I think a bag. But she used this Zuka bag for her electric eel wheel, which I also had. And last year we roomed together at a fiber festival. She really taught me how to spin, and she had her e-spinner on top of this bag, and it's great because it's portable, it's on wheels, it's got like a pull-up like luggage handle. Anyway, she got a new bag, long story short, and she sold me her bag. It was in great condition. And so now I've got my e-spinner plus some fiber and doodads. And so I'm going to get this out to show you, so bear with me. So if you have been watching the podcast for a few months, you may have seen me talk about some fiber that I was spinning that I bought at the New York Sheep and Wool Festival last year from, I want to say they're called Maggie's Farm. I'll have to look it up. If I can find it, I'll put it below. But I spun this fiber, and as I spun it, I was like, it's not what I thought it would be. It looks kind of muddied, and I really wanted to lighten and brighten it up. So I knew I needed to ply it with something like white or light gray or something like that, so it would create like a barber pole effect. And I knew all along that I had some undyed yak yarn from something. That like, it's not something I carry in the shop, and I just had this yarn kind of like languishing. And so the other day while I was at the fiber festival, to give me something to do like during downtime, I set my e-spinner up on my little checkout counter in my booth, and I got going on plying. And I tell you, to go from this to this, which also hides some of my flaws. Look at that. That's the thumbnail. That's the thumbnail. Yay. That is night and day. And this is exactly what I wanted when I looked at this and did not love it. Oh my God. I'm so excited. I'm not even like, obviously, well, maybe it's not obvious. The bobbin that the rest of this is on, and actually I have this too. I have a lot. I think it was a pound of fiber. It's all down there in the bag, and this is not even, obviously, a whole bobbin, because when you ply it, this is going to like basically double. So I'm going to have a lot of bobbins, and I really, yeah, I have enough of the yarn. So basically I'm using yarn to ply with yarn. This is a single, this is a double. And I'm even wondering if I should ply this again to make a 3-ply. I don't know. What are your thoughts? So this was really fun to have like a mindless thing to do in my booth. And I actually appreciated spinning is like a fiber craft that does not aggravate my trigger finger. So that's cool. So it's been a while since I did any spinning, and I'm happy to return to this. If you have not looked at e-spinners, this is great. It's a great way for newbie spinners to learn how to draft, which is like feeding the fiber into the orifice. And because I enjoyed this so much for the last year or so that I've had this, I now feel somewhat ready to buy a wheel. I bought a wheel during COVID, like at the height of the crazy. Like I'm talking Tiger King crazy. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I bought a wheel, which was one of those, like, you put it together, you get the instructions, and then you get all the parts at like Home Depot and put it together. And there was nothing wrong with it. It was fine. I could not treadle and draft at the same time. So I almost immediately sold the wheel on Facebook Marketplace. Now I feel comfortable drafting. I've tried treadling on others' wheels and I feel ready. So I'm actually like in the market for a wheel. I think I have it narrowed. I always thought I wanted a ladybug, which is by Shacked. Now I'm thinking I either want a Lendrum or a, what the heck is it called? Ashford Joy. I like that the Ashford Joy folds up. You can like, it's small, you can kind of put it away. I like that. That works for my like lifestyle, let's say. The Lendrum I really like because it's ergonomic. It leans towards you. So your spinning is not just like flat on. It's almost like this, if that makes sense. So you can see your whole bobbin while you're spinning. So if you have any thoughts on wheels, or if you're selling your wheel, reach out to me. Yeah, so I hope to buy some really fantastic fiber at Rhinebeck. That is like my whole thing. I'm open to buying some yarn. I don't need much because I have a lot. I have a lot of stash on this wall over here. And I have a lot of my own yarn, and yeah, such is the life of a dyer. Let me see if I have talked about everything on my list, and the camera keeps shaking because the dog now has her head on the leg of the tripod. I think she always likes to be part of this. I have talked about everything except the Knitalong drawing, and I haven't even picked a winner. Let me do that real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, we have a winner. I'm gonna put it on the screen, and if you would please email me, my email address should be below. I'll put that on the screen too. But VShaw7 on Ravelry was the lucky drawing winner, and VShaw7 has won these 3 skeins of merino. So I hope that you enjoy that. I will mail that to you. I don't need anything besides your shipping name and your shipping address. I won't ask for any of your private information. I love running knit-alongs, and I love giving away prizes. I love seeing all your makes, and thank you all who participated. It was great seeing your posts on Instagram with the hashtag and your chat in the Ravelry forum. Love that. So with that, this episode is around half an hour, which is where I like to stop. So my final thought is to tell you about this sock that I started last year on my trip to Rhinebeck. It is sock yarn held with mohair. This held with this. This is my mohair. And this is Zauberball. I bought this at Spun in Ann Arbor. So I finished my first sock, and I've had second sock syndrome clearly for a year. So I got my second sock out. I'm dropping stitches. This is a hot boiling mess. I have knit probably 4 rows in the last 6 months. This might go with me to Rhinebeck to freaking finish it. So send me all the good sock knitting vibes. But if you are interested in joining me in like a fuzzy sock using sock yarn held with mohair or alpaca or whatever lace weight fuzz you want, let me know. I think that'd be some really warm, cozy, fuzzy socks. So with that, let's wrap it up. Thanks for joining me. if you would please support this channel by giving a subscribe if you enjoyed it, and a thumbs up. That totally helps with the algorithm BS that, you know, the powers that be in the social media world do. Go drink your water. And until next time, happy knitting, happy spinning, happy crochet. If you're going to Rhinebeck and you see me, please come say hi and introduce yourself if we haven't met in person before. And I hope next time to chat more about all the fun things. All right, bye.